Readers, this week we get to make predictions about a text. And a good reader makes predictions at the beginning, during, and at the end of the text. So let's say the word prediction. Prediction, yeah, so we'll change up. Ready? Prediction. Again, prediction. 3 syllables. Well, you might be wondering what a prediction is. A prediction is where you get to take a guess about what's going to happen next. It's kind of like looking into the future. And so when we say the word predict, we can go like this. Show me your hand. Go. Touch your eyes and go predict. Do it again. Predict. That means you take what you see and you predict what's going to happen next. So this week we're going to make predictions about what's going to happen next in a text. And good readers make predictions using their schema and clues from the text. You might be thinking, whoa, Miss Shay, what schema? Well, I'm going to tell you. Touch your brains. Schema is what you already know in your brain. So you don't have to do anything to have schema. It's already up there. It just means you're going to use what's already in your brain to make really good predictions. And clues in the text, it's like having a magnifying glass. And when you look for clues, you can look at the picture or you can look at the words, because the author and illustrator are going to give us clues to help us predict what happens next. So let's look at this front cover. The title is called Last Stop on Market Street. And if you've been in Miss Shay's class before, you know that this is one of Miss Shay's most favorite stories, because the author, Matt De La Penne, and the illustrator, Christian Robinson, work so well together to create a story. So I'm looking at the front cover, and I'm going to make a prediction. See, it says the front cover helps me predict. Well, I am going to predict that they're going to get off at Last Stop on Market Street. And I'm predicting that this is a city bus because they're waiting by a bus stand. I'm using what I already know about buses in St. Louis. They're holding hands, so I'm going to predict that this little boy knows this lady. She's got white hair, so she might be his grandma. And I predict that they're going to get on and maybe meet these characters. Yeah, because their facial expression looks friendly. So let's read to find out. Okay, let's get ready to use our schema and clues in the story to make predictions. Look at the pictures. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we ain't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, he always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. Well, I'm going to use my background knowledge. I'm predicting that this is a city bus. So they're going to get on the bus, and it's going to be people from all different cities. Yeah, because that's what St. Louis has too. So it still makes me wonder where they're going. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar, and old women with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched. Say the word lurched. Lurch. Lurch means it's like goes forward and then The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Do that with me. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. How come we always gotta go here after church? CJ said. Miguel and Colby never gotta go nowhere. I feel sorry for those boys, she told him. They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man, and here Trixie got herself a brand new hat. CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. So let's pause right now and make a prediction during the text, right? So we know that we're going to use our background knowledge and clues from the story to make a prediction. Well, a clue from the story that I'm thinking about, CJ said that not many people have to go here, and he doesn't really want to go here. So I don't think that they're going to McDonald's, because I would predict that CJ would really want to go to McDonald's. Another prediction I'm making from a clue in the story is that it says that they get to meet different people every time they go. So I want you to touch your brains. Where do you predict CJ and Nana are going? I predict. Go ahead, cheer with me. Yeah. Okay, maybe CJ and Nana are going to a party with people. Maybe CJ and Nana are going to the store. Maybe CJ and Nana are going to a different church. But you're using your background knowledge and clues from the story to make that prediction. It's like a guess into the future. So keep those predictions in your brain. We're going to read to see if we're right. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. How come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact, their noses too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You got the real life thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask that man if he'll play us a fine song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and began to sing. The magic of music, the blind man whispered. I like to close my eyes. Nana closed her eyes too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. So even though CJ didn't really want to be on the city bus at the beginning of the story, I think his attitude has changed because of the different characters around him. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. Oh yeah, I know that this must be important because it was the title of the story. I predict that they're going to get off at Last Stop on Market Street. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. So I want you guys to take clues from the story and your background knowledge and make a prediction about where you think CJ and Nana are. I know when I've read this story with my kids in the classroom, they've pointed out that you can see graffiti on the walls maybe. And this man's pushing a shopping cart, but he's not at a grocery store. So the clue's telling me maybe that's where he keeps his belongings. Yeah, let's read to find out. Keep those predictions in your brain. Nice job using clues. Give yourselves a hula hula. Hula hula, hula hula. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, that's another clue. Make a prediction thinking about what we know from the story, the clues. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors. And I'm also thinking what I already know about Nana is Nana spent the whole story trying to show CJ how to be grateful. So touch your brain and think about, where do you predict, why would they be here? What is Last Stop on Market Street? Keep it in your brain. We're going to read to find out. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti tag windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces, familiar means like he recognizes them. In the window, he said, I'm glad we came. So now, where do we know that the CJ and Nana took a trip to? You're right. If you predicted that CJ and Nana were going to get on the city bus and take a trip to help at the soup kitchen, you're right. You're correct. Give yourselves a booyah. Booyah. You must have used what you knew from the story and your background knowledge to make that prediction. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now come on. And you could see that they're back there helping, and their facial expressions look really grateful that they get the opportunity to be a part of that. The end. So remember, at the end of the story, good readers can make predictions. And so it says, my prediction was right or wrong. So think about your prediction. At the beginning of the story, I made the prediction that CJ and Nana were going to a party. Is that correct? No, my prediction was incorrect because CJ and Nana actually were getting off on Last Stop on Market Street to volunteer at a soup kitchen and help people in their community. So if you predicted that, then your prediction was correct. Now would be a good time that I could go write about if my prediction was right, show me right, or wrong, and how I knew. Well, see you guys tomorrow.